Jurassic Park is a 1993 action thriller directed by Steven Spielberg, starring Sam Neill, Jeff Goldblum, Laura Dern, Wayne Knight, and Robert Peck and Samuel L. Jackson. So, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. I've seen this movie so many times, and every time I rewatch it, I never get bored with it. This is a movie I can rewatch over and over and over again. I can quote the movie to death. I know the sequence of events. When I was rewatching it, I was painting and like building a model, and so I wasn't always looking at the screen, but listening to the words. I knew exactly what scene was happening and what actions the characters were doing. This movie is just so finely crafted. I recently just got the entire series on Blu-ray, and the movie looks fantastic. Like, it's rendered so well. Because my Blu-ray of it was just, like, the transfer of it wasn't the best, and it was super grainy. But, when you fucking love a movie, you'll watch, like, any, like, version you have of it to watch it. And, this movie is just amazing, and Steven Spielberg directing it. His directing is amazing because you hear all sounds and then you see stuff, and they really hold on building up the tension to where you see the dinosaurs. So the opening scene. So sometimes with movies, if they show an opening action sequence, it'll just to kind of build up some punch so movie viewers don't get restless. But this is one where it's quite a few that the ones that I don't mind that open a movie are ones that very particularly affect the plot or that have a big part of the plot to do. Now this establishes how tough the raptors are, right? And you get your first shot, which is just amazing. So you got the trees whistling, then you got the cage come in, and then the raptor, and you got the whole shoota, shoota, fantastic. And you got that awesome scene of fucking Bob Peck with that shotgun there, and he's just got that fucking look of disgust and tiredness on his face, and it's amazing. And so the first movie is John Hammond has this Jurassic Park, so he's collected DNA from mosquitoes and carbonite, and so that he directed their DNA and they mix it with frogs to like fill in the blanks. So now they have dinosaurs, and they need people to sign off the dinosaurs because of that attack. They lost a worker, so they had to file a huge settlement. So you have a lawyer there, and then the lawyer gets Dr. Ian Malcolm, and John Hammond wants like the two best archaeologists, paleontologists, herbal biologists that he can get, and it's Dr. Alan Grant and Ellie Settler. So he's like, what can I get you to the island? They're like, nothing, we're super busy. I can further your dig. They're like, yeah, whatever, for the next 3 years. And they're like, fucking sold. And so they go. And the very beginning is, like I said, he's great at setting stuff up. So, Dr. Grant has this whole monologue about raptors and how they hunt. And he goes, they're pack hunters, okay? Right? They work together. They move together. And then it shows that he doesn't like kids. And he's in a relationship with Ellie Settler, and Ellie wants kids. And Alan doesn't want kids. Like, he thinks they're annoying, they smell, they make messes. Because, babies smell. Certified fact. Trust me. And so when and John Hammond, they get to the park, and he wants them to, show him the tour of everything. And then you get to meet Dr. Ian Grant, Dr. Ian Malcolm, and he's a rock star. He's a ladies' man. He's got the sweet leather coat, and he's just like, just very suave and just having fun. So you get there and you start checking out all the dinosaurs and everything, and the special effects are just fantastic. So this is a movie that most of the dinosaurs, when they're moving, are CGI. And so it is noticeable that they are CGI, but it's so well developed and rendered into the scene that it's like, these are fucking dinosaurs. The one scene to me that is really noticeable that they're CG, I mean, especially, it still looks pretty good, but not the best, is when the Galminus are running. The T-Rex that comes in and eats it looks good, but just the Galminus, just how they're running, like, it still looks good, but it's not, like, you can definitely tell that it's CGI, is what I'm saying. But it's still good. And then, as the film progresses, they're like, okay, we need some more people, so, because John Hammond's daughter's going through a really bad divorce, so they bring in his grandkids, Lex and Tim. Now, Lex and Tim are, their father's out of the picture, so they don't really have a fatherly role model. And you got, fucking, give me a second, Tim, who's obsessed with dinosaurs. So he instantly latches on to Grant, and Grant, doesn't like kids, so he's like, whatever. And he shoves him into a car with the lawyer. And so you got really good setup and characteristics of the characters and kind of all their motives and just kind of how everything sets up. It like falls like dominoes, and it's amazing. So, they're on the track and they meet the it's like none of the dinosaurs are showing, and then before that you meet Dennis and Neardy. So a rival company hires him to sabotage and get DNA samples off so, everyone can make their own dinosaurs. So he turns off the power. And then that's where the mayhem begins. But before that, they see Triceratops. And so Ellie stays because, they're eating this lilac that's poisonous. But the animals don't eat it. And she's like, are you sure? And then she looks into poop. And Jeff Goldblum's like, wow, that's one big pile of shit. Oh, she's very tenacious. You have no idea. And so what that shows, so you got the motherly one who really likes the kids, who's very kind of cautious with the kids. She stays behind. And so they do a great scene where, okay, like Alan's not outright that he hates kids. I mean, he is vocal, like he doesn't really like kids. But if they're in danger, he steps up, like Ellie trips, and he catches her, and he's like, you okay? And then, like they keep going when they're walking. But then you get to see the T-Rex, and it is amazing, because it's Stan Winston, so you have practical effects mixed with CGI, so you see this fucking thing moving, and it's like, that's a goddamn T-Rex. So to me, this is my favorite scene. So it's one of the best scenes, as the dinosaurs is destroying the cars, and their Alan and Grant are frozen, and throughout the scene when they're just kind of waiting, you find out that Ian wants to kind of hit on Ellie, but you find out he has a bunch of kids. He has 3 kids. He's always looking for the future ex-Dr. Ian Malcolm. So, the lawyer leaves because he's scared, so the T-Rex is attacking the kids' car, and at this moment, this is when Alan steps up. He busts out that flare, and he gets the attention of the T-Rex, and they're like, okay, you got the guy who knows dinosaurs, and you got the guy who really likes kids. Okay, good combo. They'll be able to, oh, Ian, what are you doing? Ian, freeze! And, Ian really wants to get that dinosaur, the T-Rex, as far as away from the kid, so he sacrifices himself a bit. And then he gets injured, so he can't walk. And so Alan saves the kids, and my favorite line in this entire movie is Ellie or Lex is like, he left us, and Alan gets up in your face, I know, but that's not what I'm going to do. And so then throughout the movie, you have the two teams of characters. You have John Hammond, Ian Malcolm, and then Bob Peck and Samuel L. Jackson, Mr. Arnold, so trying to figure out how to get the power back on. Dennis Nearding dies from a Dilophosaurus, which is awesome. And then Alan with the kids that are just running through the park trying to get to them. Then you find out that some West Indian frogs can switch their sex in order to procreate, so the dinosaurs are having babies now. So like, oh shit, we really need to get off this fucking island. And then the raptors get out, and probably my second favorite line is clever girl. Such a good line. And then it accumulates to like this awesome ending scene with the T-Rex fighting the Velociraptors. So every time I rewatch this movie, I catch something new, and I just loves it so much. And to me, the core of this movie is the arc of Alan Grant that shows kind of what the dinosaurs of how they're constantly working together to try and eat people, and they're like working together to survive. Like the animals are just working on instinct, right? That's all they know, that's all they have is instinct. Even in like they're just doing what comes naturally to them. And it really is in our kind of our human need that we want to help each other when we're in need. Like Alan starts working on his instincts to where he's saving Lex and Tim throughout the entire movie. He's protecting them, he's, trying to do what he does, and John Hammond has a great monologue where he goes, I don't have to be too scared because the dinosaur expert is leading the kids in the dinosaur park. So, a solid, golden 5 T-Rex teeth out of 5.